Hey, what's up guys? Alex here with a new video, and today we're going to be talking about Canon and third-party manufacturers. If you're new to the channel, I am a portrait photographer based out of Orlando, Florida, and a retired wedding photographer. I've been shooting with Canon since 2017, and I quickly adopted their RF system when it launched with a Canon EOS R. I've been shooting exclusively with the RF system since then, and have been a huge fan. You can go through my channel where I've done tons of reviews on RF lenses and have always recommended the RF system. Do I still recommend the RF system after all the news that's dropped in the last week? Let's find out. So if you've been sleeping under a rock, what happened in the last week? So last week, Viltrox, a third-party manufacturing company, pulled their Canon RF 85 1.8 lens from the market, and nobody knew why. So when pushed, Viltrox essentially said Canon forced them to pull the lenses from the market and they weren't allowed to sell them. Over the weekend, Canon issued a statement and essentially said that Viltrox was infringing on Canon's patents and they weren't allowed to sell autofocusing lenses. If you rewind some time, about a year ago, another third-party manufacturer making RF lenses, Samyang, also pulled all their lenses mysteriously from the market and they're nowhere to be found. And now we can safely assume it was probably the same reason. It was infringing in Canon's RF patents. Now, is Canon in the rights for doing this? Absolutely. So Canon created the RF mount, they own that patent, they own that technology, and they can pretty much do what they want with it for I think 15 years. There's a certain amount of time where you own that patent before it expires. Is it the right thing to do? I personally do not like this move one bit. So why don't I like it? Let's take a look at the third-party manufacturer landscape and why I think it's great for the industry. So if you take a look at Sony, they allow Sigma, Tamron, Samyang, and a ton of other manufacturers to produce autofocusing lenses for their system. And it's been a great move on their part because it's filled in their lens lineup. And now if you shoot Sony, you honestly have every focal length, multiple options to pick from at multiple price points, and it's great from the consumer side. What's even better is that this competition has made Sony better. How is that? So Sony released their 24-70 G Master a few years ago, and it was one of their top lenses. Then a few years later, Sigma comes around and releases a 24-70 2.8 at half the price, equal quality. A year later, Tamron releases a 28-75, which is not 24-70, but it's pretty close. A lot smaller, a lot lighter, a lot cheaper, with equal the quality. Sigma then followed with a 28-70, which I now own, and you get the point. Third-party manufacturer companies made a lens smaller, lighter, better, cheaper. So what did Sony do? Well, Sony was forced to create a version 2 of the 24-70, which is now sharper, smaller, lighter, not cheaper, but a better lens. The competition forced Sony to make a better lens. And that's what competition does. It forces you to continue to improve your product, yourself, whatever that might be. Competition is good. And what Canon is doing here, by not allowing any third-party manufacturers to make lenses, they're truly controlling the market on the Canon RF system. Only Canon lenses will be sold. If you buy a Canon RF camera, you will be forced to only buy Canon lenses. From a dollars and cents perspective, of course that makes sense for Canon. It's more money in their pockets. But this type of move allows complacency and allows you to kind of slow down. If you look at the RF system, we're waiting right now for a 24 1.4, a 35 1.4, and several other L lenses for their full frame lineup. But Canon just launched an APS-C camera a few months ago, which means now Canon has to fill in an entire lineup for an APS-C camera and still fill in a full frame lineup, which they haven't been able to do here in the last 4 years, which of course they haven't. It takes time. It took Sony a bunch of time. But now they're going to be kind of distributing their resources across two different systems, and it's going to just slow down the entire lineup. And without third-party manufacturers coming in to help out, we're going to have gaps in the lens lineup like we do today. Or on the APS-C side, if you bought the R7 or R10 or you're looking into it, you'll be forced to buy full frame glass at a full frame price for an APS-C camera because Canon will not allow anybody else to make APS-C lenses either. So you see what Canon is doing here. They're controlling the market and I personally do not like it one bit. In this channel, I have always recommended the RF system, and I can safely say today, if you are in the market for a new system and you don't own any lenses, I cannot recommend Canon moving forward. I think this type of thinking and control over the system is not good for the user, and it's not good for Canon in the long run because they aren't getting pushed by anybody to really do anything better. They can release subpar items, and it doesn't matter because they're the only ones doing it. I repeat myself, if you are new to photography and you're looking for a system, you don't own any lenses, I think now the safest bet is Sony. Sony has embraced third-party manufacturers. With Sony, you can truly buy a camera body at multiple price points, and then you can buy multiple lenses at multiple price points from different manufacturers and still get great quality. Or if you want to stick straight to Sony and just buy their Sony lenses and their premium lenses, you can do that as well. You have options, and that's great from a consumer standpoint. So if you're new to a system, I think Sony is definitely the way to go. If you still have Canon glass and you have already invested in the RF system, I don't think you should sell everything and just kind of jump ship. But this is something to think about as you kind of look at the market and what's going to happen in the next few years if you're really waiting for like a 24 1.4 or 35 1.4 and it's not coming. With that said, those are just my thoughts and opinions on this matter. What do you think? As always, I like to have a conversation. Let me know in the comments down below. This has definitely kind of rocked the photo industry, and I think everybody feels very similarly, but if you don't, let me know in the comments below and let's chat about it. But as always, guys, please like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.